I haven't played a game like this since the seventh generation of consoles, being the Xbox 360 and PS3. And this is exactly what I've been talking about on this channel. This is the type of game I wish modern games would be like, and it's just the perfect gold standard example. I don't want to hype up the game too much because like I'm gonna say, if I have to give it a number right away, I think this is an 8 out of 10 game. But like that's what I want. I want more 6, 7, and 8 out of 10s. That's that's the territory where you find hidden gems and just get more just good games. And this is the exact type of AAA game I wish more AAA studios would try to produce. And that game is Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. So the reason I chose this game, like I have so many games I want to play, right? And the reason I chose to play this game right now is, again, if you've been following along on my channel, I just went through and did a Gears of War marathon. So all of the third-person shooter Gears of War games. And I hated Gears of War 5. And that's kind of how that marathon ended. Like, I absolutely did not like Gears of War 5. If you want to see more of those videos, I have them all on my channel. Check them out and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. But I didn't like Gears of War 5 for so many reasons, and one of those reasons I was a little afraid I might have been burnt out just by playing just so many third-person shooters back to back to back to back. And so, before I move on to other genres of games that I want to play, I was like, you know what? Maybe one more. Maybe just one more. I just picked this up on this latest Black Friday. I can't remember if I got it for $30 or $40, but I've been eyeballing this. I think it came out late 2024, and all I've heard from people saying was, because people who know I'm a Gears of War fan, I've been seeing talk online like, hey, if you like Gears of War, you would like Space Marine 2. And so that's it. That's all I knew about the game. It was like, okay, this is kind of like a modern day Gears of War game. And I love those kind of games, those Gears of War like type of games. And I feel like we had a lot of those back in the Xbox 360 days, like Army of Two and Vanquish, these third party or third person cover based shooters. I even love Resident Evil 5 in that category. I'm one of those like rare people who like Resident Evil 5 because of just that third person shooter co-op type of game. And this fits the bill exactly. And actually, Space Marine 1 was on Xbox 360, right? And I haven't played that one. I just went straight into Space Marine 2. Just basically, just pure on the fact that's like, oh, here's a Gears of War like game. And, I don't know if I would actually like call it like a Gears of War like game. It's a third person shooter, absolutely. But that's kind of where the similarities end. I mean, maybe the co-op and just the whole, I'm gonna keep this spoiler free, but just kind of like just the brothership of it's a co-op. It's meant to be played with co-op. I did play this solo, but there's not a doubt in my mind that this is a great co-op game. Again, that seventh generation of consoles, Gears of War with the co-op, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Army of Two again, Bulletstorm, that was up there. Like honestly, this game really makes me want to hit up the Dream Team. The Dream Team were my boys back in the day. We played all those games together on co-op. I mean, we made esports jerseys for the Dream Team, right? Like those were good times in gaming, man. And this just brought me right back to those times. There's other modes too besides the campaign, such as there's a PvE, which are basically kind of like raid operations. I did one of them, and I like how they're integrated into the story. And so like I played one of them. It kind of directs you to that game mode as like an optional mission to do, and I did that. And it just like wasn't as story focused. Like it's meant to be replayed over and over again, earn XP. I didn't play any online multiplayer either. Like I just played the campaign. I'm here recommending this game on the highest degree for just like the campaign. And so like just like if you're in the mood for some like more content and like multiplayer and all that, you're gonna get even more out of this game. Absolutely. But like I was kind of thinking, and I was thinking about it too. I'm like, ooh, do I want to play more? Like, do I want to maybe go for the platinum with this? And I was like, honestly, if I'm gonna, I came into this only wanting to do the campaign, and I was like, what, that's what I'm gonna do. If I get deep, and maybe I am a bit burnt out on third person shooters. Like, I want to just take a break, do some other genres. I'm like, if I'm gonna get really deep into a third person shooter in 2026, it's gonna be Gears of War E-Day later in the year. So I'm gonna save that multiplayer gaming for later. Like, I don't do much multiplayer gaming anymore. It's not like I don't do zero. Like, I'll probably do some during E-Day, but I don't do enough where I'm like, I don't need to do this right now. That said, like if I wanted to get more value out of this and just more game time, like if I was in the mood, absolutely. And I want to leave some stuff where I want to revisit the game after, like, eventually, like, I'm gonna be going to like game stores, my local game stores, and if I see Space Marine 1, I'll pick it up if I see it out in the wild. Absolutely, I definitely want to play that. Like, story wise, you know, not just like Gears of War, because there's no cover in this game, so that makes me say it's like not actually like Gears of War. Uh, but like setting wise, actually a little more Halo, maybe even Mass Effect. And see, going into this, I don't know anything about Warhammer 40k. I don't know anything. I've not been exposed to it even the slightest. So, like, this could just be its own IP for all I know, for all I care. But I think that's like also kind of why I like it. It's almost like a gateway into this like larger than life IP, and I love that kind of stuff. I love the larger than life IP, and so like seeing this is just like very cool. I'm sure there's a lot of lore and story that like I don't understand, and even more so than the story, I'm trying to like absorb the set and setting, how it's like taking place in the year 40,000, and so like technology is just like through the roof and all that, but also somehow like magic has been discovered along the way and all that, and there's like sorcerers and all of that going on, and it's just like funny that like they're all talking almost like Middle Earth, like, so like we're so far in the future but we revert back to like Middle Earth talk, and they're all like my lord and just like for the emperor and all that kind of stuff, and it's funny. I like it. But that got me kind of googling a little bit, and it's just like there's novels and stuff, and it seems like that like community, there's like a definitive first novel to read to get to learn more about the lore. And I love that kind of stuff when I can get a game and get into a game, and it's like if I want more of that universe, there's like novels and stuff, and obviously like there's the tabletop game, which like I've never like I've never played the tabletop game. I've never really been too interested in the game. But at the same time, like seeing this, it's like the characters, they look like they're straight from like they look like you're playing as like the tabletop figures. You actually start the game with like a helmet on, and then you take it off. You're the main character, is his name's Titus, and he's here on the cover, and he takes the helmet off, and like in the settings you have the option of keeping the helmet on or putting it back on. And like my first reaction was like ew, like you looked so much cooler with the helmet on, kind of like that Master Chief kind of style, or like the Fallout, like I don't know what that character is, that armor and Fallout that's on the cover, like Fallout 3. And I was like, ew, I went back and I'm like, put your helmets back on. But in the cutscenes, their helmets are off, and it kind of grew on me as the story like went on. But I did play the game with the helmet on. The guy kind of reminds me of one of the main characters from GTA 5. Was his name Michaels? I don't remember his name. But yeah, so but the characters, they do kind of feel like they're miniatures from the game. Not that like I've played the game, just like but I've seen it around, And I got the vibe that like a lot of the bosses in the game, which the game has great bosses. That's kind of something that I thought they did better than like Gears or Halo. Like the boss fights are pretty good, and the final boss fight in the game was fantastic. It was a great final boss, I thought. But every time like a boss showed up, I felt like I just got the vibe that like that's a miniature from the game. I'm like, that's got to be a miniature from the game. And if you guys know stuff about 40k, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I don't know. It's like a huge gateway, and it's kind of making me. It's like almost wanting to get like a starter set for that, and just looking it up. And it looks like you have to like paint all the miniatures and stuff. And my wife and I kind of have a little bit of a dream right now about maybe getting a bigger house and all that. And one of the criteria that if we do get a bigger house would be we would want a second floor, like bonus room, like kind of for the kids. And like the idea of that bonus room would be like a current kitchen table. Like we want a new kitchen table, but we don't want to get rid of that table. And so we're kind of holding out until we decide if we get a bigger house, because that table would go into that bonus room, and it'd be a table for like building Legos, or like drawing on, or like jigsaw puzzles, or playing TCG like Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or One Piece, or board games like Monopoly and Risk and Catan. But like this like Warhammer, that could like really fit that bill of that kind of vibe. And so like, I don't know if we get to that point, like I'm not going to like get the game right now or like read the novel or get into it or anything like that. But like, yeah, maybe I'll get the novel added to the bookshelf and have it be like someday, like I would want to read that. In terms of the game, like if we do get to that point, and get that space, that could fit into that vibe of like what that room is like meant to be. And then even like the painting of it, like as I get older, like I don't know, maybe I'll get into the paint. I have my creative hobbies, right? A lot of my consumption hobbies of playing games, movies, TV, reading books like manga and comics. I like to balance it out with creative hobbies too. Like I like drawing. I'm not good at drawing, but I like it. I like making music. I'm not good at it, but I like it. I like making videos. That's a creative thing. Painting, like maybe that could be something that could be a fun thing to do. Like, you don't have to look good, but it could be fun and just part of like playing it and doing that too. So like this game, like besides just being like a great game that reminds me of days back in the seventh generation, because it's tied to a big IP like Warhammer, it's almost like a gateway into it. Like besides like the novels and the tabletop game, like even the 360 game, like again, I just played this game. It was like 10 hours long. That's perfect, the perfect scope of a game, I feel like, for this kind of thing. I played it on the second not the normal mode, but the hard mode. Like there's easy, normal, hard, and we'll call it insane. We'll just use those Gears of War levels. And I played it on the hard mode. It said it was the intended experience, and at times I thought maybe it was too easy, but I was kind of thinking like, ooh, do I want to replay the game on the hardest difficulty before I move on? But I know how these games kind of work, and sometimes those modes can be too hard where it's meant to have like 3 human players playing. And I don't want to like leave this and have a bad time or just like go into and get frustrated and then move on. Like I'm good moving on now, and I kind of want to leave a little more in this package. Like I want to leave something for me want to come back to here for where I play the first game on Xbox 360 and be like, oh, I can play number 2, and hopefully they make a number 3, and I'd be excited for a number 3. Absolutely. So yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a fantastic game. And yeah, if you like those kind of third person shooters, something about it too, because it's not just a third person shooter. Like Melee's a big combat or a big part of this game. And I love the control scheme of it, where R1 and L1 are your melee combat, and then R2 and L2 are all about shooting. So I love that control scheme of it. There's a bit of like with that with the melee, with the blocking and doing your parries. A lot of it kind of reminded me of like Stellar Blade a little bit. There was a little bit of Stellar Blade. I felt like the stuff that I love about the combat, that like not nearly as good as Stellar Blade, but a little bit of that was like kind of, I got the vibes when I was playing. I'm like, ooh, that reminds me of Stellar Blade. Yeah, and if you like, and something about it, also thinking about like 360 games, I don't know why. Like I was talking about like Army of Two and Vanquished. For some reason, I can't put my finger on it, but I want to say Darksiders. I don't know if it's because of the melee combat and the shooting combat, or just like the movement in general. Something about me wants to be like, lump Darksiders in there. I can't put my finger on it. If you played this game and if you played Darksiders, let me know in the comments if I'm crazy. I haven't played Darksiders in a very, very long time, so maybe I'm just misremembering. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was great. If you can get this game for $20, $30, or $40, I absolutely recommend this on the highest degree. I wish there were more AAA games that were like this. If they make a Space Marine 3, I'll be there. I want to hunt down Space Marine 1 and play that. Very surprised, very pleasantly surprised and happy with this game. I can't recommend it enough. So, and that said, there was a lot of the content here that I didn't experience. So, like, this is all just, I'm recommending this based on 10 hours of campaign. It didn't overstay its welcome. I thought it was solid, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments if you played this game. Did you enjoy Space Marine 2, or did this review help you and get you excited and you want to pick it up on the sale? Yeah. And also, it feels great playing on the PS5 again, using the DualSense and no longer playing on the Xbox Series X. I'm like just very happy to be playing a PS5 game right now. So yeah, that was a good experience too. So let me know down in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.